Hey, welcome back. Continuing the this theme here of setting you all up for success as you start off your journeys, your health and wellness journey, right? So the one of the things that gets kicked back to me quite often is the complexity of meal prep. People are super intimidated by it. They don't seem to have the time for it. And what other excuse you want to come up with. So again, reiterating something you'll hear from me quite often is you get it, you take out what you put in, right? So how bad do you want it? Are you willing to take an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours tops of one day to prepare your meals for the week, setting yourself up for success? Yeah, I'll let you guys kind of digest that. No pun intended. But regardless, I get it, schedules are tight. So the purpose here is to show you how simple meal prep can be. At its most basic, my recommendation is cook your chicken for the week. I go to the store, and I did this for the longest time. I would go to the store, I'd pick up 4.5 to 5 pounds of chicken for the week. I'd prepare it, which I'm gonna show you in a moment. And then I stocked up on frozen vegetables and cans of beans, okay? Because that was my primary carbohydrate. We've talked about this previously. I was big into Tim Ferriss's slow carb diet, and that was his carbohydrate of choice. Now, granted, you can have brown rice that has the same digestive benefits as you're gonna get from beans, okay? So they're high fiber to carbohydrate ratio, digest slowly, don't bombard your system with insulin, blah, blah, blah. You've heard it, you'll hear it again. But yeah, so I prepare my chicken for the week, and then I'd load up on those frozen vegetables. So frozen vegetables, more nutritious than fresh produce, and often cheaper, all right? They're more nutritious because when you pick a fresh vegetable, it starts to lose its nutritional value from that moment that it's picked, right? So it will never be as nutrient dense as it is the moment you pick it, unless you flash freeze it, right? And there you go. Frozen vegetables also don't have preservatives because they don't need to live on the shelves for an extended period of time, all right? So save money and eat better. So what I tend to do is I would prepare my chicken, and then I throw that into my pan with a little oil, my frozen veggies, a little bit of beans, or if I already pre-cooked brown rice, or maybe I pre-cooked some sweet potato. Again, those are things you can do. Takes a little extra time, but it's not the end of the world, right? Yeah, so you just, while you're heating up that chicken, the frozen veggies are thawing out and cooking, and everything else is heating up as well with it. And I like to have a nice base seasoning for my chicken. That way, from day to day, I can re-season everything and make a new dish from evening to evening. That seems to be people's biggest thing about the meal prep. It's like, I can't eat the same meal every day. So if you think about it, pull your meal apart, you're gonna have the same core ingredients, right? You're gonna have a protein source, a veggie source, and a carbohydrate source, right? How you season it is what's gonna change the origin of your recipe. You could have those same core ingredients, and how you season it, it could be an Asian dish, it could be Middle Eastern, it could be Mediterranean, right? So this keeps it flexible, and also, what's the word I'm looking for? It just ensures that you'll be able to stay on progress, all right? So what I do, let me see if I can mess around with my camera a bit so I don't screw everything up. It's gonna fall on me, aren't I, right? So, whatever. I grab my chicken, right? My chicken breast. I usually keep it pretty much intact. There's this little extra bit here. I'll cut that off. But now I'm gonna butterfly. I'm gonna cut it all the way down. But I am technically not butterfly. I'm cutting it all the way through, splitting this in half. And that's just so that it cooks faster, all right? All right, so I got a couple breasts here to work with. Let's pretend that I cut them all already, all right? Next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw some oil on it, olive oil, right? And then I put on a good amount of pink Himalayan sea salt for seasoning, knowing that the chicken's gonna absorb a lot of it. So be liberal with the salt, right? Obviously, you don't want to go overboard. Use your palate as a judge, all right? But I'm pretty liberal with my sea salt here, or you can use regular kosher salt if you like. Then I use some black pepper. I use onion powder. You might see a trend here from other seasonings you see in other recipes. Garlic powder and oregano. Those are my foundation herbs and spices. And then my little, whatever you want to call it, I add some Old Bay and some red wine vinegar. All right. So then I mix that all together. Boom, boom, boom. You can either let it sit for an hour or so to marinate. I typically don't. I usually mix it and then I get it right to the pan, right? So I throw a little extra oil into the pan and then I set the heat to a medium. Like I said, my oven is, my range goes from 2 to 10, so I usually have it about just below the 6. I cook it on that one side for about 8 minutes. Then I lower it to just above the 4, flip everything, and I put the lid on it, and I cook that for another 7 minutes. Take those out, and then put the extra piece, whatever extra pieces I have remaining on there. So you're looking at about 10 minutes of prep time, and then 20 minutes per batch of chicken. Typically, if you're doing 4.5 or 5 pounds, it's 2 batches of chicken that go into the pan, right? So 40 minutes, 50 minutes, give it an hour altogether to prep that chicken. You take it off and you throw it in the fridge, right? You can go and chop it up after that if you want, whatever you wish, right? But at least now you have chicken prepared for the week. And as we mentioned, the vegetables and the other carbohydrates, whether it be the brown rice, beans, or sweet potatoes. So it really is, can't get any easier than that. Pretty sure anybody can find an hour, especially if it means that they're going to be a healthier person for it. All right. So good luck and feel free to send along any questions. Okay. Bye.